Okay. Hey guys, good evening. So let's make sure everybody can. Okay, awesome. Okay, so those of you guys that hopped on the amazing training, if you guys didn't see it, it was about like influencing and Instagram and all of that. If you haven't seen it, I'll send you the link after this. It was phenomenal. It was so good. But this week, I hope everybody has had a great week so far. Again, if you guys want to send this to your teams too, after we hop off, I'm going to send you all the replay too. It'll be on or on YouTube. But this week we're going to be talking about consistency. And so this is the thing that I've definitely had to get used to for sure. And it's a big thing whenever you're first starting. So we're just going to start with like a little prayer to the universe. Okay. So universe, can you, thank you. Thank you for bringing us all together tonight. Thank you for encouraging us. Thank you for allowing us to dream big dreams. Thank you for giving us a team and for people who want to help each other. And please help us help me to communicate what I need to my team and help my team to hear what I say out of love. And let's have a great meeting, y'all. Okay, so I get questions about whenever people are first starting. And again, this is the second week out of the first 6 weeks for the newbie circle. So I get a lot of questions like, what should I be posting? How often should I be posting? And so when we're talking to like top leaders or top income earners in the company, guarantee they're posting at least once a day. Okay, and so that doesn't necessarily have to mean about the business, but just with the algorithms on Facebook and on Instagram, posting at least once a day is super important because when you do that, people are going to be able to see your stuff. And obviously, if you're not consistently posting and people aren't seeing your stuff, then they're not going to like it. They're not going to like send you a message about it, and that's the whole point. So how often should I be posting? Ideally, at least 3 times a day, but very least once. I would say on stories multiple times a day. At least that's what I do. I do multiple times a day. Probably every day I do at least products as far as stories go. But my next question that people typically ask is, how often should I be messaging? And so that is, I guess it depends on what your goal is. Okay. So I heard this really awesome statistic, and it's 1 out of 10 people that you ask are going to say no. Okay. So let's say your goal this month, and everybody's goal in their first month, is to get their first 4 customers. Okay. So how many people should you be messaging? If it's 1 out of 10, you need to be messaging at least 40 people to get your 4. Okay. So it depends on what your goal is. If you're wanting to sign up 1 customer today, I would say probably 10 messages today. Of course, obviously do more if you want. But I think the main thing when we're talking about consistency and why it's so important is because you want to build credibility. So when you're thinking about your brand, or you're thinking about like your Instagram, your Facebook, your Snapchat, whatever you use, you want people to first know you. So what are you putting out to show the world who you are? The second thing is that you want to portray, you want people to know, second, like, and the third is to trust. Okay, so know, like, and trust. Make sure you write that down because that's super important. So the best way to do that is to be consistent and show that you're credible. Show that, oh, okay, I'm not going to post and then not post for 3 weeks, because whenever someone's, deciding to buy or to purchase from you, they want to know that this is the real deal, that you're doing something, that you're not just going to quit, or you're not just going to, sign them up and they never hear from you again, so that's why it's super important that it starts with your consistency on social media. I know some of you have said that you're not on social media a lot, like you don't want to be on social media a lot. I totally get that. There are apps that you can actually schedule out your posts. So if, let's say I have class from 9 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I don't have time to post during that time, Hootsuite is a really good app for Facebook. As far as Instagram goes, most of the time I just put my phone on airplane mode. And then after I take it off airplane mode, then it like automatically posts the things that I had pre-scheduled before. So you can do that on Instagram. But yeah, so I think that is super good as far as consistency goes. If you're more of a party or blitz person, anything that you do, I'm kind of talking about social media now because that's kind of what I do, but anything that you do, you want to make sure you're consistent with it. So for blitzing, for instance, so what blitzing is, if you guys haven't already seen, blitzing is it's like the coupons that you get in your kit. So it's just a coupon, and you can do that through taking a screenshot of it on your phone, or however you want to get creative with it. Normally when I blitz, I just have a picture of them on my phone. And so how you blitz is, let's say I go to the gas station to get gas. I would walk inside, obviously go to pay for my gas, and I would give someone a compliment, a genuine, true compliment. So let's say I'm walking in and the cashier has awesome hair. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, your hair is so cool. Like, you just seem like the coolest. You're very edgy. And I was wondering, have you ever heard of this? And so you can either give them the card, the coupon, or you can show them, you know, the card on your phone. And from there, they can either say yes or no. Regardless, you should get them on your social media, because whenever you do that, you start the interaction, you start the conversation, and then from there, they'll see you on social media. They'll get to know, like, and trust you from you being consistent and posting about yourself on that. And so that's how that builds that relationship. So if you're more of that type, if you're going to do those types of things, and less of the social media, the blitzing is super important, and you've got to do that daily if that's how you're growing your team. And so social media in particular favors consistency. Okay, so somebody told me this too, that whenever you're making posts or you're creating content, you don't want to solely focus on how many likes you're going to get. Okay, because a lot of times people will see your stuff but not like, because they're afraid. They're like, I don't know if I like this post, I don't know if I want to join or whatever. So a really good gauge on that is, as long as you're consistent, the algorithms are going to favor people that are consistent rather than people that get a ton of likes. So somebody, let's say, that decided to post this awesome, you know, post about themselves or whatever, and they get like 100 likes. Not necessarily the things that they post won't necessarily be more seen by people just because they're not consistent with it. Okay, so that is the most important thing. As far as going live, I have some questions about that too. Like, how often should I be showing my face? Like, because I look like a hot mess half the time, or like, I didn't do my makeup today, or whatever. Guys, you see me all the time without makeup on. Like, I look like a hot mess express 99.9% of the time. I look like a hot mess now. I went on my story earlier today to talk about Nashville because I'm going there in August. You know, that's what people want to see. They don't want to see someone who's made up all the time, who has the perfect clothes all the time, who looks like a goddess, because that's something that is unachievable. Okay, so when we're talking about going consistent as far as that goes, people want to see you. They want to see what's going on with you. Of course, you don't want to put out negativity, because nobody wants to see that. So if you're having a bad day and you feel like crap, I wouldn't be posting it all over social media like my life is crappy. But however, you can always take a positive spin on it. So let's say you're having a bad day, like, man, this day, it started off not the best, but you know what? I'm going to learn from it. Or by the end of the day, you know, I'm going to choose to not wallow in this. Or I can't believe that I'm able to have hope now, that I'm able to hope and to dream that I'm going to make the income that I want from this. You know, get creative with it, but you definitely don't want to be the person on social media that's always negative. Nobody wants someone that's always negative. So yeah, so I think it's super important that you're consistent. So as far as going live, I would say at least once a week. at least once a week on your stories. The more you can show your face, the better. Especially on social media. I cannot stress that enough, because on social media, oftentimes, especially on Instagram, oftentimes when people follow you, they don't know you. They don't know what you're about. They don't know if you're real. They don't know if this is a fake account. They don't know any of that. So the more that you can show physically your face, the more that people are going to know, like, and trust you. And whenever they know, like, and trust you, that's when they'll purchase, or they'll join your team, or whatever, you know, or even become your friend. You know, it doesn't always have to end in a sale. But so this is something that I actually decided to add this to the training tonight because I was blown away. So this for this previous, we saw this social media training right before this, and it was talking about Instagram and influencers and all of that. So there was a top leader, and she talked about 12 boxes on Instagram. So whenever you look onto your profile, the first thing that you see are those first 12 pictures, the first 12 boxes. And this is actually something I'm going to be implementing starting today too. But she thinks of it as 12 categories. Okay. So I think her name was, she's a new top leader. I think her name is like Josefina Vargas or something like that. But if you guys want her name, I'll find it for you. But so she thinks of her 12 boxes, the first 12 boxes that you see on her Instagram. She views it like 12 different categories of herself. Okay. So what you put out into the world is what's going to be coming back to you. Okay. So another consistency question. How often should I be growing my network? Every single day. And what we mean by growing your network is growing your followers, growing your friends, growing people that you can talk to. Okay, so if you're talking to the same 10 people every day, you know, like I said, 1 out of 10 people are going to sign up. So if you only talk to 10 people for the next month, you're only still going to enroll 1 customer, you know? So how I've been able to continually enroll and continually grow my team and continually enroll customers every single week is because I'm constantly finding more people to talk to. I'm constantly growing my network, making new friends. That's really all it is making new friends. And so how I do that, I'm sorry guys, I'm like coughing. So how I do that is thinking about those 12 boxes, or those ways to describe yourself. So some of the examples that she has at least 1 out of her 12 boxes be a selfie of her and talks about her story. So those of you guys that have first started, you might not have a success story yet, but you can talk about where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Okay? Where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. So you don't need to have this huge, oh yeah, I'm a millionaire now. You don't need to have any of that. And first of all, that's not really relatable to most people. Okay, so where you're going, I think, is the most important thing, because people are not going to follow people who don't know where they're going. So I know where I'm going. I'm paying off all my student debt. I am paying cash for college every semester. And whenever I pay for my VW Bug and Cash, every single week, probably every other day, I was posting, I'm going to pay for this car in cash. Just watch me. I am so excited. I would post pictures all the time of a VW Bug. I'm like, man, this is going to be my car. I can't wait to get it. Like, y'all, like, who wants to be the first one to ride in it with me? You know, always posting about it. And guess what? When that happened, everybody was like, wow, she really did it. And that made people know, like, and trust me, because they knew that if I say something, I'm going to follow through with it. Okay. So she put a selfie about her story. Another box was her family. Another box was her dog. Another box was someone else's story. And I think this is genius, because I do this on my story a lot, but I personally don't do this on my page as much. but sharing someone else's story. And I think this is gold whenever you're first starting, because you don't have a huge success story yet. I mean, if you're in your first month, first 2 months, like, you don't have a huge success story yet. However, you can have small successes, like whenever you get your $100 shopping spree, like, hey, I just got a $100 shopping spree. That's a huge success. But as far as, building a full-time income, it's really, really cool to be able to share all these stories of other people who have done it. So whenever, wherever, you guys can use my story if you want to. Other top leaders, you can use their stories. Post a picture of them. Of course, you don't want to be always doing that, but once in a while, it's probably good. On your stories, I highly suggest it. So that also builds credibility as well. Another one of her boxes was fitness. She had travel, she had coffee, but I think whatever you decide to do in these pieces of the puzzle, I can give you guys tips. Every week I can tell you what I do, but when it comes down to it, you're going to have to find something that works for you and works for your business and how you want to run your business and what you want to portray to people. Because obviously, if I'm posting something on social media and I'm talking about my life, I'm going to totally attract people that are way different than the person or people that are going to be attracted to you. So making sure that you're thinking about, okay, what do I really want out of this? Like, what do I really want? Who am I really? And the more vulnerable you can get, the more real you can get, people are going to respect you. So, yeah. So as far as consistency, that is one of the biggest things that I have seen that people have stopped before they were on the brink of doing something incredible, of promoting, of reaching their goal, but they decided, oh, I'm going to hang back, or, oh, I don't feel like it today. Okay, if we're thinking about a job in general, there's times where we don't feel like going to work. I'm going to be honest. Tonight, I did not feel like coming on this because I feel kind of shitty today. So I'm just being real with y'all. There's some days that you don't always want to do it, but in order to get the things that you want, sometimes you're going to have to not just think about yourself. So I'm thinking about you all that are on this, that are making the time to be on this with me. Like, I don't want to waste your time. I'm thinking about the people that are watching the replay and the content that I want to give you all. And so there's going to be some times where you don't want to be consistent. That's just being honest. But I'm telling you, if you do those little things each day, again, you don't have to send 100 messages a day, but the person that sends 10, 20 messages a day is going to be so much more successful than the person who spends 100 messages, who does 100 messages like once a month, So just doing a little bit each day is going to make your business explode and make people take you seriously. Because I know a lot, like almost all the people I have enrolled are young, are millennials, are, in their 20s or even younger. And so in order for people to take you seriously, you have to be consistent. You have to say, I am under no circumstances am I giving up. Under no circumstances am I giving up. And I think that is what separates the people who don't make income to the people who are top leaders. I still remember my first conference that I went to. And just so y'all know, every February there's a conference in Florida. Y'all need to come. It is like the funnest thing ever. However, yeah, I remember the first conference that I went to. The top leader of the company, her name's Stephanie Dunn, and she has been the top leader for the past 10 years. Okay. This lady is the top income earner every single year for the past 10 years, which is insane. And what she said, it works if you do. Okay. And that to me, it just totally changed the game for me because I don't know what else I could say about that, but that's the huge thing, is that it works when you do. And finding, I know we talked about last week about making the time. And as far as consistency goes, I think those two really align very, very much so. Because to be consistent, you have to find the time to be consistent. So, figuring out a routine that works for you, I have certain times of the day that I do certain things. I remember whenever I first started, I was working so many jobs, but I had half an hour before I did anything. Whenever I got up, I had my water. I, did the normal thing, but instead of scrolling through Facebook or not doing anything or just laying in bed for half an hour, I sent out messages and pre-planned my post for the day. So you can 100% do that and find the time. But as far as thinking about your goals and the longevity of this, you don't want to just sign up, reach your goal of $200 and then call it quits, Thinking about the possibilities, longevity with this, thinking about the company growth. If you have researched any type of network marketing, any type of MLMs, the best time to join a business is when there's rapid growth in other countries. Guys, we just opened in Mexico. If you guys didn't see the call tonight, the Show Me the Money call, it's every Monday night at 8 p.m. It's on Pam Stouter's page every single Monday night. They have different people that hop on and share their stories. Tonight, there were 2 presidential diamonds from Mexico. We just opened in Mexico last month, and 2 people went presidential diamond, which is the second highest rank in the company, in a month. So just thinking about the rapid growth, but also products. So a company that's coming out with a lot of products. And we just came out with the celery. We just came out with a brand new cleanse. So this is really the best time to be in this and the best time to be consistent, because in the long run, when we're thinking about residual income, and I don't know, I mean, probably a lot of you guys don't know what residual income is, because I didn't, but residual income is whenever you do something one time and you reap the benefits multiple months, years, days after you did that original act. Okay, so for instance, residual income, this is what it's called. So let's say I sign up a loyal customer, right? And I'm getting $10 commission on that from enrolling that customer. Okay, now with our loyal customer program, they sign up to try the product for 90 days. Okay, so I sign up this loyal customer one time and I make $10 that one time. So instead of just like, okay, I just sold something, okay, I made the $10, whatever. But with this company, you had guaranteed at least 3 months of that income. Okay, so whenever I sign up for a customer, they try it for 90 days, 3 months. So I signed the customer up this month, which is August. No, it's not August. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. July. Okay, earn $10 this month. Earn $10 in August, $10 in September. And I only signed up that customer one time. Okay, and that doesn't even include if they really like the products, they could be, they could be ordering it for years and you still only sign that customer up one time. Okay, what other that guys is how you earn money in your sleep. If you're looking for the secret recipe of how to earn money in your sleep while you're while you're on the beach, whatever, that is how you do it. Residual income, that is the way to go. And so the best way to get that and to do that is through consistency. Okay, guys, so that is basically the major question that I get as far as consistency goes. Do you all have any questions or anything for me? Okay, so yeah, okay. I know people say this a lot, and as far as consistency goes. So like maybe, if you're thinking about posting and you're like, okay, well, I need to post once a day. What do I post about? Or what do I do if I'm supposed to be doing this every day? Like, I don't know I've ran out of things to talk about. To answer that question, first and foremost, what you need to be doing is personal development every single day. Okay. That's how I never, ever, ever run out of things to talk about, because I am growing myself every day. Now, whether that means watching a motivational video or listening to a podcast or reading a book, but you have to be continuously growing every day. Who told me this? I think Rachel Wiggum, our ambassador diamond, told me this. She said, this business is a self-development program with a compensation plan. Okay. So you're not going to earn more if you're not growing yourself, if you're not personally developing yourself every day and trying to make yourself better. Okay. So that would be my biggest thing. If you feel like, I don't know what to talk about, I don't know what to say, that means you're not inspired. Okay. So what we need to do is get you feeling inspired. And whenever you're inspired and you're excited about something, you know, whenever we're excited about stuff, we can't stop. I mean, at least for me, whenever I'm excited about something, I can't stop. I'm like jibber, jibber, jibber all the time. So I think for that, you always want to make sure you're growing, you're continuously evolving. And you're always looking for at least one new thing to learn each day. And really, if you go from that mindset, one new thing each day that I learned, you can make a whole blog about that, you know? So there's a ton of different ideas as far as that goes. But yeah, guys, so that is what I have for y'all tonight. And I really hope this week that whatever goal you set for yourself, it's really important that you make goals and you keep promises to yourself. One more thing, I really feel like I need to say this too. So, so this past month, I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to have ice cream for all of July. Okay, if you all know me at all, we have this thing here in St. Louis, Missouri called Quick Trip. And Quick Trip has those 49-cent cones. I'm telling you, I probably had 2 of those each and every day. And whenever my boyfriend told me, he's like, hey, darling, I love you, but he's like, well, maybe you should try one because I feel like that, you know, I feel like I want you to live long. And I was like, oh, he's telling me just one a day? Okay, well, I kind of need to evaluate myself. Like, that's probably not the best thing to be having 2 ice creams a day. And so then I thought about and told myself, you know what? I'm going to have just this one commitment, this one promise for this month that I'm going to give up ice cream. And not forever, just to say that for 30 days, I can do it. I have control, right? So this ice cream doesn't control me. I am not bound to this ice cream. I have a choice. And guys, I am on day 29 of not having ice cream and I don't even crave it. Like I'm telling y'all, if you make a commitment, sorry guys, and make a promise to yourself, you know, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It could be like, oh, for these next 30 days, I want to send out 10 messages every day, even though I'm super scared. Or, you know, I want to go live once a week, even though I'm super scared. That's only 4 times in a month. You know, that's so doable. But making those little promises to yourself is going to reteach your brain that you can know yourself, you can like yourself, and you can trust yourself to follow through and to pull through, you know? And so I think that is going to be huge. So I'm going to end on that, guys. Have a wonderful week. I'm going to put this online on the YouTube, so feel free to share it as well. And I love you guys, and have a wonderful week. And thank you so much all for hopping on. All right. Good night, guys.